welcome back to the deep dive. So you've handed us this really eclectic stack of material. We've got 1960s rock and roll, modern privacy policies, some deep dives into R&B anthems.
It looks a little chaotic on the surface, I'll admit.
A little, yeah. But we're here to drill down, find that through line, and connect all these seemingly random dots.
And the mission here is actually, pretty laser focused. We're looking for one common thread. Boundaries, okay.
Yep. Whether it's cultural boundaries that a whole society decides to shift, or the personal boundaries we need in relationships, or even the digital boundaries we're constantly negotiating with tech platforms. It's all about defining the non-negotiables.
And we're going to kick things off with a fantastic piece of music history that literally broke chart boundaries. I mean, a song that did something that's never been repeated in the entire history of the Billboard Hot 100.
We were talking about The Twist. Popularized, of course, by Chubby Checker, but it was written by Hank Ballard.
And get this, it first hit #1 in September of 1960. And then he came back and hit #1 again in January 1962.
The same song.
The exact same song. It's a feat that's never been repeated, and it speaks volumes about its cultural impact.
I knew it was a huge hit, that it started this massive dance craze. But the sources you gave us, they paint a picture of something much, much deeper than just a new dance move.
Absolutely. It wasn't just a fun song. It was a real cultural tipping point. Billboard itself said later that it was the song that truly defined the American experience of the early 60s.
So why? What was so revolutionary about it?
It was all about the boundaries of youth independence finally starting to shift.
And we can trace that huge idea right back to a single line in the song.
Correct. It's the line, "My daddy is sleeping and mama ain't around." That was the signal.
It's not overtly rebellious?
Not at all, but it's implicitly independent. It drew this clear musical line in the sand, telling young people, hey, you can create your own fun. You don't need your parents watching over you. That simple idea, it just propelled this huge generational shift. It was, a preview of the counterculture revolution that would peak with Woodstock later in the decade.
Okay, so if The Twist was the opening shot for youth independence, then the next big anthem we have here really confirmed that this boundary shift was permanent.
You have to be talking about I Got You, Babe, Sonny and Cher, 1965.
Exactly.
It became the defining recording of that early hippie movement. It just cemented that idea of two people against the world, defining their own little bubble outside of what society expected.
And what's so fascinating is how it came to be. It was like the opposite of a polished studio creation.
Totally. Sonny Bono wrote it late at night in their basement, specifically for him and Cher. And the best part of the story is that Cher absolutely hated it.
She hated it.
Despised it. She thought it was so bad she just went back to bed, totally convinced it would be a flop.
Wow, imagine being that wrong about a piece of pop history.
Yeah.
And speaking of unexpected details, I love the little production fact in the sources.
The oboe.
The oboe. That main instrumental part that everyone hears, it's not a synth or an ocarina or something, it's an oboe.
It's such a brilliant, subtle touch, and it gives the song that unique sound. Its endurance, though, is really proven by how it just keeps showing up in pop culture.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Groundhog Day, the 1993.
Of course. It's Bill Murray's wake-up music every single day. That alone made the song re-chart in the UK. That's how deep it is in our collective memory.
And the covers are just legendary. You've got UB40 and Chrissie Hynde taking it to #1 in '85.
And don't forget Cher herself re-recording it with Beavis and Butthead.
I was just about to say that. A top 10 hit in the Netherlands in 1993. It just keeps redefining itself.
So we've seen how music can define these huge society-wide cultural boundaries. Now, I think we should pivot. Let's go from those big shifts to the very intimate personal boundaries we set in romance. What we often call deal breakers.
That makes perfect sense because really, whether you're setting a boundary for a generation or just for one other person, it's all about protecting your self-respect, right? Your integrity. What are you willing and what are you unwilling to tolerate?
And our sources are pretty clear that, unsurprisingly, dishonesty and infidelity are right at the top of that list.
The ultimate breach of the contract.
It is.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is the nuance. The sources acknowledge that while it's this profound breach of trust, it's not always an immediate game over. Some couples can actually work through it with a ton of professional help. So it's a massive deal breaker, but not always an instant relationship ender.
But then there are the lines that, once they're crossed, there's just no coming back. The true, unrecoverable deal breakers.
Exactly. Any kind of abuse, sexual, physical, emotional, financial, that is defined as never, ever acceptable. Those are hard hard boundaries that have to be enforced immediately and permanently.
Right.
And then you have the sort of slower erosions of trust. Things like substance misuse or just a total breakdown in emotional intimacy, silent treatment, that kind of thing.
And it's not always these huge, dramatic issues. The sources point out that boundaries get tested by the day-to-day stuff, too, especially money.
Oh, money is a huge one. Something like a third of Gen Z and millennials say they ended a relationship specifically because of arguments about finances. That's a serious boundary violation for a lot of people.
Which brings us to how the idea of relationship boundaries is changing in music. While those traditional deal breakers are all about monogamy, we're seeing more and more hits that explore, well, different kinds of relationship architectures.
Consensual non-monogamy, yeah.
And the prime example has to be SCA's The Weeknd. This isn't a song about sneaking around or betrayal. It's about a very explicit, agreed-upon arrangement. And it debuted at #1. It shows you how mainstream that conversation now is.
The narrator is so matter-of-fact, she even calls herself The Weeknd, and the other woman the 9 to 5.
You take Wednesday, Thursday? Then just send it my way.
Exactly. She's laying out the boundaries. This is the deal. It's the sound of a non-traditional contract being negotiated and accepted.
But if you think this is a totally new, modern thing, the sources point us back to 1968, to Jefferson Airplane.
Triad. A song written by David Crosby that is, it's a slow, deliberate argument for a three-way relationship. He's asking, why can't we go on as three?
And what's so telling is the boundary that the music industry itself put up at the time.
It's fascinating. His own band, The Byrds, refused to record it. They thought the subject matter was just too controversial, too far outside the cultural norm. It took Jefferson Airplane to pick it up, for it to even see the light of day. It just shows how rigid that boundary was, even in the late 60s.
We see that same theme of redefining limits, but in a very different and really necessary context within R&B. The sources here detail how Black women artists use their music to push back against these historical stereotypes.
Stereotypes that often denied them complex emotional depth. They use their music to move vulnerability to its powerful self-definition.
They were setting their own boundaries of self-respect.
100%. Look at someone like Whitney Houston. In 1990, her song, I'm Your Baby Tonight, was this big shift into New Jack Swing. She's embodying this confident woman who is embracing love, asserting what the sources call feminine agency.
But she also wasn't afraid to explore the other side of that, the more complex, painful side of boundaries.
Right. You contrast that with her 1985 ballad, Saving All My Love for You. It's explicitly about an affair with a married man.
A few stolen moments is all that we share.
That line says it all. It's about vulnerability and accepting the pain of a forbidden love, of knowing exactly where the boundaries are even when they hurt.
And then you have the queen of hip-hop soul, Mary J. Blige. Her entire career is like a masterclass in resilience and demanding respect.
Her music is all about setting boundaries around your own self-worth. Her song from 2022, Good Morning Gorgeous, is cited as a literal personal mantra for self-love. It's about that internal boundary you have to guard.
Absolutely. The most important boundary is sometimes the one you set to protect yourself from your own self-doubt. You even see it in the pure, committed love of Anita Baker's Sweet Love. They're all mapping the evolution of the romantic contract.
Before we move on, it's just worth noting the sheer range of definitions these sources give us. It's everything from the difference between a tenant farmer and a landowner.
A defined boundary.
To the idea that cinema combines the cold logic of science.
Another boundary.
Or that health and virtue are blessings for a contented man. It's all about the power of definition.
Speaking of defined boundaries and very high-stakes contracts, let's get to our third category. Digital boundaries. We talked about romantic deal breakers. I kind of see the Google privacy policy as the ultimate non-negotiable relationship contract of our time.
It's a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
But with one huge difference, the power imbalance. In a good relationship, both people get to define the deal breakers. Here, Google defines the contract, and our only choice is really to click accept or, walk away.
So you have to know the terms of engagement. What's the cost of entry? What are we trading for the convenience of using search or YouTube or Android?
The data they collect really falls into three big buckets. We can call them device DNA, behavioral dossiers, and physical location traces.
Okay, let's break this down. Device DNA.
That's the unique profile of your hardware. Your device's unique ID numbers, its type, your IP address, even crash reports from your apps. It lets them create a persistent digital fingerprint for you.
And the behavioral dossiers. That's the real gold mine, I'm guessing.
That's where they build the context, yeah. It's the exact terms you search for, the videos you watch, what you buy, the ads you click on. If you use voice commands, it includes that audio too. It's how they understand your intentions, your needs, your interests.
And then there's the one that feels the most invasive, the physical location traces.
And they are extensive. It's not just GPS. It's sensor data from your phone, your IP address, and info about what's nearby, like Wi-Fi points and cell towers. It allows them to map with very high precision where you are and where you've been.
Now, the policy has to say why they're collecting all of this. What are the three main reasons they give?
Right. The relationship has to have some value for you. So first is personalization. Customized content, better search results, security tips based on how you use things. Second is ad targeting.
Showing you ads for mountain bikes after you've been searching for them.
Exactly. But it's really important to note the internal boundaries they claim to set.
Their own deal breakers.
Yes. The policy says they do not show personalized ads based on sensitive categories of race, religion, sexual orientation. And crucially, they say they don't use your personal content from Drive, Gmail, or Photos for ad purposes.
And the third reason is just basic security.
Yep. Detecting and preventing fraud and abuse. The system has to be secure to be useful, so that data is used defensively.
So, given this very one-sided relationship, how can you, the listener, enforce your own boundaries? What are your digital deal breakers?
You have some really critical controls. You should be using the privacy checkup and the activity controls regularly. That lets you decide what gets saved, your search history, location, voice commands. My Ad Center gives you control over the ads you see.
So that's like relationship maintenance. But what if you want the ultimate break?
The contract allows for that too. You have the option to export a copy of all your content, or if you really want to cut ties, you could delete specific products or just delete your entire Google account. Knowing those controls exist and how to use them, that's how you maintain your integrity in this digital relationship.
This has been an incredible journey. We started with a 1960s dance craze. It was a signal for youth independence. We moved through love songs that redefined consent and commitment. And we ended up in the fine print of data collection policies. It seems like at every level, societal, personal, and digital, it all comes down to defining boundaries to manage consent.
Exactly. Whether you're negotiating with a partner or with a giant tech platform, knowing your non-negotiables, your deal breakers, is the most important tool you have. It defines who you are, what you value, and tells you when it's time to walk away.
So, we'll leave you with a final thought to chew on. We saw how cultural ideas about relationships, from strict monogamy to consensual non-monogamy, could shift so dramatically over 50 years, mostly driven by music and art. Given the speed of technology, how much faster will our expectations around digital privacy and data ownership change in just the next decade? What new, explicit digital deal breakers will we need to communicate to define the future of our relationship?